Building a powerful, fearless diva mindset. When we are born, our mind is like an open book with empty pages. You already know that our mind is divided into conscious mind and subconscious mind. And our subconscious mind is a storehouse of all our beliefs, thoughts, and habits. Our environment is what shapes our beliefs and fears. When we are growing up, our environment shapes our beliefs and mindset. Even after we are grown up, our environment keeps shaping our mind and our thoughts. Every second, our mind is collecting information from our environment. And by environment, I'm talking about parents, relatives, siblings, neighbors, our teachers in school and colleges, our colleagues at workplace, what we see and continue to consume from social media, television, the books we read, our friends, and people we spend time with. Right now, as you are listening to this, your mind is already filled with an enormous amount of data and information about being transgender, about being cross dresser, about being feminine, about being gender fluid. You have probably watched and followed many cross dressers on social media, and all that is already stored in your mind somewhere. And I'm 100% sure most of it is not very positive. Most of the programming, most of the conditioning of our mind happens during the first 6 to 7 years of our lives. When a child is growing up, they are not born with any insecurities, they are not born with any fears, they are just happy. But what they learn in the first 6 to 7 years shapes a huge part of their personality. As we already talked about, most of the things that we have been hearing when we grew up as kids about transgender people are negative thoughts. Transgender people have a mental illness. Transgender people are not normal. Stay away from them. Don't give them money if you see them begging. They are against our religion. Boys shouldn't wear pink. Boys should not put on makeup. Boys cannot wear skirts. Boys cannot wear dresses. Boys cannot keep long hair. Remember the lies that we exposed in module 1? What do you think they were? They were the beliefs and lies that have been programmed into your mind throughout your life. Movies keep showing LGBT as a topic of fun. Cross-dressing has been consistently used as a means to evoke laughter among audiences in various TV shows, serials, movies, and even on social media. I am not surprised when someone calls me a chakka to insult me on social media. It's not their fault. They do it because their mind is filled with negative beliefs and negative ideas about cross dressing, being trans, or gender fluid. In their mind, it is wrong. They just express what their subconscious mind is filled with. And I know that they are not even aware of why they say such things. Their mind is playing games with them, and sadly, they don't even know it. In 2005, National Science Foundation published an article explaining that on an average, a human being has 12,000 to 60,000 thoughts in a day, out of which 80% are negative and 95% were the same repeated negative thoughts as the day before. People don't understand that they are stuck in this negative thought cycle. And what do you think happens when your mind is filled with so much negativity and garbage about being trans or about being a crossdresser? I want you to imagine a bin, an empty bin, which is filled with an enormous amount of garbage and it has never been cleaned. The more garbage you've been collecting all your life creates an extreme garbage odor. The more garbage we carry in our thoughts, the bigger is our ego and our insecurities. It creates a dangerous cycle of negative thought patterns, and most of us are not aware of how dangerous it is. As long as you are operating from your ego, you are basically behaving and doing things that the world has programmed you for. You have been programmed to live in fear and insecurity. Most of the beliefs and thoughts are not even real. It's what the world has made you believe. Let me give you the biggest secret that I learned in my life. Fear is not real. It is not real. It is just a result of the insecurity that has been programmed and drilled into your mind since childhood. So the question is, now that we understand that our mind has been filled with a lot of negativity and insecurity about being trans or being cross-dresser or being gender fluid or being gay or being whatever, what is the best way to fight it? Because now we know that our fear and insecurity is a result of that conditioning. So what's the best way to fight fear and handle any situation in life? Maybe you want to step out as a girl. Maybe you want to tell your friends. Maybe you want to come out at workplace. Maybe you want to tell your parents. Maybe someone is just being very harsh and nasty towards you. Someone is making fun of you. How do you handle these situations? How do you fight the fear that stops you from living the way you want to live? Well, the first and the most important thing is to be aware of the fear, is to be aware of the ego, is to be aware of your negative thoughts. What does it mean to be aware of thoughts and fear? You may be thinking, right? What does it mean to be aware of your thoughts? Let me explain. You see, any problem or situation that you face in life, any situation that you face, small or big, will require you to take some action so that you can come out of that situation, or so that you can deal with that situation, right? For example, if you want to dress up, you have to perform the action of dressing up. If you want to eat, you have to perform the action of eating. If you want to drive a car, you have to perform the action of driving a car. If there is a situation or a meeting in your office and you have to give a presentation, then your action will be to give the presentation. Hope you got the point. And whenever you take an action in any situation, it leads to an outcome or a result. So this is what it looks like. There is any situation that you are in, any situation that you're facing, you take an action and that action leads to a certain result. To understand this, let's look at some real life examples. Let's say you are appearing for an exam. So the action is answering the questions, and the outcome or the result is either you pass or you fail. Let's say there are guests at home and you have to cook. That's the situation. So the action that you take is you cook, you perform the action of cooking. The result, either they like the food or they don't like the food. Let's say there is a situation where someone in your family or someone is just asking you, why are you dressed up as a woman? The action is you explain them. That's the action you perform. And the result is they either understand or they don't understand. Let's say there is a situation where you are in your car and you're getting to office, but there is a lot of traffic and you're getting late. So you take an action, you try to drive fast. The result is either you reach on time or you reach late. Let's say there is another situation where there is a party happening. There is a CD party happening, or a trans party happening, or a LGBT party happening. The action you take is you get ready, you do your makeup, you wear your dress, and the result is either you look good or you don't look good. Let's say there is a situation where you have to go out to your neighborhood dressed as your feminine self to meet a friend of yours. The action you take is you plan what dress you want to wear, what kind of makeup you want to do, and how you want to go about this entire evening or the meeting with your friend. Result, either you do it or you decide not to step out and cancel your plans. I'm sure you can relate to what I'm trying to say. As you can see, any situation you face in life is followed by an action and an outcome. So the question is, what decides the outcome? How do you ensure that any situation that you face in life, any situation whatsoever, how do you ensure that you always get the desired results? You always get the results that you want. It is a very common thing to, very easy thing to understand that whatever action you take decides the outcome. So if we want the outcome to be what we want, if we want the result to be what we want, then our action needs to be right. Right action leads to the desired results, and wrong action leads to undesired results. Pretty straightforward, right? Let's say your family is asking why you are dressed up as a woman. You take an action, you explain them well, the outcome is they understand. Let's say there are guests at home and you have to cook. You take the action, you cook well, they like the food. That's the result. Let's say you have to go out to your neighborhood dressed up like a beautiful girl to meet your friend. You take the action of planning what to wear and how to step out confidently. What's the result? You do it, you step out and have a lot of thrill and fun. And we can go on and on and on and on. Every action, if done well, can lead to the desired outcome. If you can handle a heated situation between you and your spouse well, they understand you. If you dress up really well, you look like a beautiful doll. If you speak well in front of a crowd, they understand and like your speech, etc., etc., etc. So, the question is, how do you ensure that whatever situation you face, you always perform the right action, you always perform well? How? What does it depend on? Does it depend on your talent or your skills? Maybe. Do you need to have great makeup skills so that you can step out? Maybe. But then there are people, who don't really have so much talent, right? But they're able to perform well wherever they are. Does it depend on your knowledge? Maybe. But then there are people who don't have so much knowledge, but they are able to do whatever they want to do. We all know how to be confident, how to be motivated, and all of that. But still, as a cross-dresser or as a transgender person with all that knowledge, we are still not able to do it. Why? Does it depend on motivation? Maybe. But I personally feel motivation is overrated. You may be motivated in one moment, and the next moment it goes away. Even if you combine all of this, your skills, your knowledge, your motivation level, you still cannot ensure that you always take the right action. Why? Because there is something that you have to understand here. If you want to ensure that in any given situation you always do what is right, you always perform the right action, you need to pay attention to what is going on within you. Not outside you, within you. The secret of ensuring that whatever you do, whatever situation you always face, you always do the right action and you always get the right results and outcome is emotions. What outcome you get from your actions depends on how you feel at that moment. This is very, very, very important to understand. You have to learn to see what is going on within you. Imagine you are dressing up. Just imagine, you have time and you're dressing up as a girl. But you're feeling really frustrated because of something that happened in office. Some manager who keeps giving you a lot of work. Do you think in that kind of a mindset, when you're feeling frustrated and pressure from work, do you think you'll be able to dress up very well? Imagine you're going to a meeting at work and you have a very, very, very important presentation to give, but you're stuck by the bad traffic and reach late and your boss is angry. Do you think you will be able to give a very good presentation? You have all the skills and knowledge to give the presentation, but do you think if you're not feeling good within, you'll be able to do that? Do you think if you're not feeling good within, you'll be able to do makeup properly? Imagine the girl or boy you have a crush on is sitting right in front of you and you want to go and talk to them, but you're feeling too scared. Do you think you will be able to go there and speak and convey what you have in your heart? So, if you want to ensure that whatever situation you face, you always perform well, you always do the right thing, so apart from your skills, your knowledge, your motivation, your goals, and all of that, at any moment in your life, your ability to manage your emotions will decide the outcome of your action. If you are someone who can handle his or her emotions well, then you are unstoppable. But if you don't know how to handle your emotions well, then life becomes a hell. Tell me, how many times have you thought about telling someone that you are trans or you are a cross dresser? How many times? Maybe your girlfriend, maybe your boyfriend, maybe your best friend, maybe your parents, maybe your colleagues. But were you able to do it? What stopped you to take that action? It was worry, fear, anxiety, inferiority, and all the emotions that stop you from taking the right actions. All the negative emotions that stop you from taking the right action. So it is never the talent or skills or knowledge that will help you. Yes, they are important, but the most important thing is emotions. Your state of being. So the next thing is, how do we develop the ability to manage our emotions? How do we ensure that we never feel the negative emotions and the negative feelings during difficult situations? How do we do it? What if there was a way to choose the emotions that work for you and not against you? You can do it. by using your thoughts. You can choose what you want to feel at any given moment in any situation by using your thoughts. Let me give you an example. Think of a very negative situation. Think of the current perception of society about transgender people, about cross dressers. Think about it. The way transgender people are treated, the way everyone makes fun of them. Think of how some people are bullied, some people are laughed at. Think of all those things. How does it make you feel? Not so good, right? You feel bad, you feel sad, you feel afraid. Whenever you think of these things, negativity and fear and these emotions come up. You start feeling fear, you start feeling scared, you start feeling lonely, you start feeling suppressed. On the other hand, think about being feminine. How do you feel when you think of femininity? How do you feel when you think of dressing up? How do you feel when you think of meeting other divas just like you? How do you feel when you think of yourself as a beautiful girl? You feel good, right? So that's the secret, my dear. How you think is how you feel. And how you feel is how you act. And how you act is what decides your results or outcomes in your life. So, how you think leads to how you feel. How you feel decides if you act properly, if you act in the right way or in the wrong way, and that in turn decides the outcomes of your actions, the result of your actions. It starts with thoughts and all the beliefs that you have in your mind, which leads to the feelings and emotions. You just saw, right? You thought about the negativity and you felt negative. You thought about the beauty of being a diva, you felt positive. So, how you think leads to the feelings, what you feel. And how you feel decides how you act. And how you act leads to the result or the outcome, which in turn leads to more thoughts and beliefs. So, coming back to our question of what is the best way to fight fear and handle any situation that you face, focus on the thoughts and the feelings in that moment. What's going on within you? That will lead to the action that you take, and that will give you the result of that situation. Mind. This is where the awareness of thoughts and feelings help. This is pretty much where the real game is played. If you are aware of how you are thinking, if you are aware of what is going on in your feelings and emotions, you will always be able to take the right action and deal any situation properly. So the real question is, the mind, which is nothing but a storehouse of our beliefs, our thoughts, which lead to our emotions, how do we ensure how do we ensure that our mind works for us and not against us? As you already know, our subconscious mind is filled with negativity. So much negativity about transgender people, about cross dressers, about LGBT, about being gay, about being this, about being that. It is filled with a lot of garbage, which creates a lot of ego and negativity. And whenever we are in any situation, we act from our ego, we act from our negativity, we act from our fear, and obviously it doesn't give us the results that we want. So, when it comes to ensuring that our mind works for us, the first thing that we can definitely start doing right away is to reprogram our subconscious mind. Yes, it is possible to reprogram all the negative garbage that the society has filled in our minds. If we can fill our mind with garbage, we can also fill our minds with positive things that can become our automatic thoughts, right? Right now, most of the thoughts are negative. So, if we can fill our mind with all that negativity, why can't we change our mind and fill it with positive things? This is called reprogramming. So, how do we reprogram our mind? Positive affirmations to build a strong self image. If you can fill your mind with such positivity about yourself, it will help you to become a very confident person. Instead of seeing yourself as a negative person, instead of seeing yourself as someone who is not normal, instead of seeing yourself as someone who is not like other people, who has something wrong in him or her, if you can fill your mind and create a strong self image about yourself, your life will change. Your self image is how you see yourself in your mind. If you build a strong and positive self image, you will not only build immense confidence but also be mentally prepared to handle any situation, because your mind will always throw up positive thoughts during difficult or challenging situations, which we have already learned. So the question is, how do we build a very strong self image? How do we reprogram our mind and create this strong self image, positive self image? Introducing the Fearless Diva Creed. The Fearless Diva Creed is a set of very powerful affirmations that will guide you in all areas of your life, be it health, be it your confidence, be it your relationship, be it your career, every area of your life. It will not only build your confidence as a transgender person or as a cross-dresser, but it will also allow you to understand yourself better and thus helping you to deal with others more confidently. The fearless diva creed. I want you to pay close attention to this. I want you to fill your mind with the fearless diva creed. This is how it goes. I am happy and grateful to be born as a transgender person, or as a cross dresser, or as a gender fluid person. Transgender people are amazing, beautiful, and very special. I am kind, caring, and very loving towards other people. I love myself and everyone around me. This world is beautiful with so many amazing things happening all around me. I love this world. I treat everyone with love and respect and understand that not everyone will agree with my gender expression and choices in life. I never judge or criticize anyone, nor do I compare myself with anybody else. I am thankful for everything life has given me and continue to give thanks for every beautiful experience in life. I believe in health and prosperity and always take care of myself. I take 100% responsibility for my own journey and I am willing to do whatever it takes to fulfill my dreams. I am not here to please anyone. I stay away from negativity, arguments, and complaints and focus all my energy towards my goals. I am a very focused and hardworking person and I'm working towards becoming the best version of myself. I have the confidence and the strength to face any challenges that come my way. I am not worried about other people's opinion of me. Whatever I face, whenever I face any challenge, I focus on solutions, not problems. I have the power to overcome any challenge. I feel the fear, but I face it anyway. I am the beautiful combination of fire and love. I am Annie and I am a fearless diva. I want you to read this creed multiple times during a day. And over a period of time, you will see that all the negative programming that you have in your mind, it will start disappearing. And you will feel a natural sense of confidence. So repeat the creed as many times as you can. Fill your mind with such positivity that they become your automatic thoughts. Make this creed as a part of your DNA. This will help you reprogram all the negativity and garbage that the society has put in your mind. So repeat the creed. Well, that was all about reprogramming your conscious mind so that you automatically think positive thoughts, diva thoughts. But what if There were more ways. What if there was another powerful way to look at yourself? What if there was another way to manage your emotions and feelings? What if there was another way to be confident in any situation whatsoever? By now, you already understand how important and how powerful it is to reprogram your mind with the fearless diva creed so that it becomes your automatic thought process. But that was about your thoughts, right? There is something else, emotions. How do we ensure that we always feel good? Always, always. Whenever we encounter any kind of negativity within us, we are able to focus on feeling good. How do we do that? What if it was possible? Lower self versus your fearless diva self. Your lower self is the creative center of your negative attitudes and feelings towards yourself and others arising out of ego centric separateness from life. Your lower self is like your defense against pain, your defense against negative feelings, your disconnection from your true self and from people around you. It is the negativity that you act and show as a result of this disconnection from the world. And most often, it is fear. Your lower self is nothing but fear. So, here's another secret: do not believe the negative thoughts you keep thinking about. Your lower self is very dangerous, girls. Let me show you how it works if you are not aware of it. Let's say because of who you are, somebody rejects you or you face some kind of rejection somewhere. You're not accepted or someone makes fun of you. Some kind of rejection happens in some area of your life because of who you are. And we see this happening often, right? With so many people. This leads to a lot of pain within us. And because of that pain, many of us create a certain kind of hatred towards others. The more pain and hatred we carry within, it leads to shame. It leads to guilt. I'm not good enough. Why am I like this? I'm not a good son. I'm not a good husband. I'm not a good father. And then many of us get into self punishment. We stop ourselves from doing things which make us happy. And the more negativity we keep building in ourselves, it leads to more rejection from the society. The more people stay away from us, the more people don't want to talk about us being trans, the more people avoid this topic. And this is how the lower self behaves. I cannot do this. It makes us behave in an immature way. We feel helpless. It makes us feel rage and anger. We feel isolated from the world. It wants everything to be in the perfect way, or else things will not work. It always says this doesn't work, that doesn't work, life is tough, I am not good enough, I am not worthy. It keeps giving excuses of why living a dream life is not possible, why I cannot live as a beautiful feminine diva. It always points mistakes at others. It always says, trans people are not normal, I am not normal. It always complains. Always. This may be very painful to accept, but my question to you is this. If this is how you are operating from, if this is how your lower self operates, how can you ever face the world confidently? You can watch all the motivation videos on social media and read books, but that won't help you if your mind is operating from your lower self. Your mind is conditioned for survival. It doesn't want to motivate you, push you to become better. Your mind is like a survival mechanism. And whenever you try to change something, whenever you push yourself beyond your lower self, it will try to stop you. That is why it is very important to understand not to believe the negative thoughts you keep thinking. It is nothing but your mind playing tricks. Now you know how this cycle works. One person rejects you, maybe your wife didn't support you once, maybe your girlfriend didn't support you once, maybe your parents didn't support you once. That's it. And the cycle continues from there. And it keeps on going on and on and on and on and on. And it builds more fear, more negativity, more shame, more guilt, more self-punishment within us. And we have absolutely no idea how to get out of it. So, the question is, if you don't want to feel the emotions of your lower self, what can you do? You need to operate from your fearless diva self. This is that part of you, that version of you who is capable of doing anything she wants. Your diva self is confident, honest, filled with love and kindness for everyone. There is no room for any negativity. Your diva self is filled with gratitude for everything you have received from life. When you operate from your diva self, anything and everything is possible. And the best way to learn to operate from your diva self is to build a powerful character. The fearless diva self character. You need to remind yourself, you have skills, you have talent. You have knowledge, you are a hardworking person. You are trustworthy, you are reliable, people can trust you because you're honest, you're focused, you have respect for other people. Your fearless diva self is that version of you which is always improving herself, always working towards improving and becoming the best version of yourself. Be it your skills, be it your knowledge, always pushing to become a little bit better than what you were yesterday. Always looking forward. Your diva self is grateful. No one likes a negative person, right? Your diva self never complains. Rather, she is always happy and thankful for the learnings and experiences in life. She is honest, she is loving and compassionate towards other people. She operates from kindness, and she has the attitude of forgiving people. Your diva self doesn't carry any hate in her heart. If someone doesn't agree with you or says something nasty or does something bad towards you, you deal with it and you move on. But you don't carry that hate within you. That is how your diva self operates. So the question is, how do you always operate from your diva self? How? How do you stop operating from your lower self where you have no confidence and you always operate from your diva self? You always act as your diva self where you are confident, you're happy, you're looking forward in life, you have love in your heart, and you're focused towards your goal. How do you do that? Understand that your diva self is a combination of your masculine traits, which is pure fire, and your feminine traits, being grateful, being loving, being kind. You are a combination of fire and love, my dear. This is who your diva self is. This is who you are. So here's the secret. The secret to operate from your diva self, whenever you are in a difficult situation, whenever you are in a situation and your negative lower self and fear is stopping you from doing what you want to do, the shield. The shield is your weapon. It is something which will help you protect yourself from all the negativity in this world. The shield will protect you from being a negative person yourself. It will protect you from operating from your lower self, and it will help you to operate from your diva self, fearless diva self. You need to understand one thing, my dear. You are a diva now. Nobody wants to be around someone who has no confidence. And guess what? Everyone wants to be around someone who is loving and confident. Everybody admires a fearless diva. So the first step of using the shield is that whenever you are in any situation which is difficult, let's say you are dressing up and you want to step out of your home and you're feeling that negativity, that fear within you. After all, you know by now it's all within you, right? Everything is happening within you. So you catch the ego, you become aware of it. You become aware of the fear which is stopping you from taking the right action. Let's say you are talking to someone in your family or your friends or your siblings or your spouse, and they are asking you difficult questions. The first thing that you have to do is catch the negativity which is arising within you. Second, just take a deep breath. It will help you balance yourself. Third, remember your creed, remember your diva self, and switch. Switch. Catch the fear and switch to your diva self and smile. It will instantly change your negativity to positivity. It may be very easy to say this, but this will only help you if you practice it again and again and again. So that's the 4 steps, my dear. Catch the ego, catch the fear whenever it creeps up. And it doesn't have to be a situation where you're talking about people, about your gender expression, or about, your being trans or cross dresser. It could be anything. Let's say you're giving an interview. Let's say, there's a difficult or a very high pressure, business conversation happening at work. You need to catch the fear and the lower self within you and just brush it aside. Switch to your diva self. Switch to that part of you which is which is confident and which is filled with love for other people. The combination of masculine and feminine, Ardhanari, and smile. That is how you can use the shield. So let's look at some situations. How does it work? You get into a situation. Before you take any action, you make this switch. Then you take an action and you get the result. This is something I have been doing for years now. Whenever I get into a situation where someone suddenly comes and says something to me, and I feel that fear and that ego creeping up, within me, instead of just acting and reacting, I take a deep breath. I switch to my diva self, I smile, and then I take an action that is something I feel would be the right thing to do. But I never operate from my ego. I never operate from my lower self. I always operate from love. I always operate from confidence. And that only happens because I'm able to catch the fear. I'm able to catch the ego within me first and then switch. To understand this deeper, let's look at the science behind this concept of fearless diva self. David R. Hawkins was an American doctor, psychiatrist, spiritual teacher, and author. During his 20 years of research, he conducted more than 250,000 experiments to define different energy levels of human beings. He explained that the higher we maintain our energy, the closer we are to our highest potential. This is the energy scale that explains how close we are to our highest potential. If you observe, you will see that the emotions of fear, worry, guilt, shame, stress, and anger keep our energy very low. But when we operate from kindness, love, courage, then our energies are much higher and we feel better. And when we feel better, we act better. When we act better, we get better outcomes and better results in our life. So the question is, now that you understand why operating from your diva self, from your fearless diva self, can help you face any situation, the real question is, what are you focusing on? Are you focusing on lower self, fear, complaints, comparison, ego, scarcity, or you are always focusing on your fearless diva self. Love, gratitude, abundance, creating your own dreams, your higher self. What are you focusing on in life? Whenever you are in doubt, whenever you don't know how to handle a certain situation, ask yourself, I am thinking from my lower self or am I thinking from my diva self? Always ask this question to yourself. Whenever you do something and regret later, always ask yourself, was I operating from my lower self or was I operating from my diva self? In any situation where you are afraid, let's say you want to dress up and step out and show yourself to the world. Let's say you want to come out to your family and friends, and you're feeling that fear, no, no, maybe not today, I will do it later. What will people think? What will society say? This, that, blah, blah, blah. Ask yourself, is this my lower self talking or is this my diva self talking? The more you start observing what is happening within you, the more you start observing your lower self, the more easy it becomes for you to operate from your diva self. And the more you operate as a fearless diva, the more confident you become, the more loving you become. So, tasks for module 2. Remember the lies you wrote down in module 1? You wrote down all the negative garbage that your mind is filled with. I want you to take a matchbox or a lighter and just burn that page. Burn that piece of paper. Remove all that negativity from your life once and for all. There is no place of lower self in your life. You are a diva now. You are a fearless diva now. You are going to achieve all your dreams. And the only way to do it is to get a control of your mind, is to fill your subconscious mind with the fearless diva creed, is to operate from your fearless diva self, your higher self, not your lower self, is to fill yourself, fill your life with love, kindness, and confidence. So burn those lies. Second, practice the creed. Read it morning, afternoon, night, at least 3 times a day whenever you get time. Make it a part of your DNA. Make it a part of your daily habits. Make it a part of your thought process. Make it your automatic thought process. Next, practice the shield. Whenever you encounter fear, whenever you encounter your ego, whenever you see yourself operating from your lower self, whenever you feel that you're feeling that fear, switch. Take a deep breath. Remember your higher self. Remember your fearless diva self. Switch. Smile. It will help you to take your energy from the negative frequencies of fear, worry, shame, and guilt and shift your energy towards love, courage, confidence, happiness, joy. So practice the shield whenever you get the opportunity.